Hey everybody! So in this video, we are going to discuss living with DID and completing ADLs, or Activities of Daily Living. First, I'm going to go over some personal struggles with completing Activities of Daily Living, and then I'm going to give some tips on how to make sure to complete these things if you're living with DID. Now, living with DID means living with dissociation. And living with dissociation means living with problems with memory a lot of the time. Most people with DID will experience at least some mild issue with memory. In our case, my memory issues are fairly significant. I have an extremely difficult time remembering things, remembering what day it is, what month it is, what year it is, whether or not I've done something. It's very hard for me to remember these things. So here are some struggles that I've had. I have a really hard time remembering if I've taken a shower. I have a really hard time remembering if I've brushed my teeth. And because there's so many of us, sometimes we end up doing these things multiple times. There have been times when one of us brushed our teeth, and then another one brushed our teeth, and then another person brushed our teeth, so we ended up brushing our teeth like 3 times in the span of a couple hours. There have been other times when everybody forgot, and we only ended up brushing our teeth once that day, instead of the normal twice a day. Well, that is not a fun thing to experience. And another struggle is remembering to get laundry done, so we actually have clothes to wear. Had a lot of problems with going, oh, we have clothes and they're clean, and I just put them away, and I go look and there's nothing there, because I'm remembering 2 or 3 days ago when we had clean clothes and we don't have any anymore. Another hard one is remembering to brush our hair. And otherwise just eat properly, drink enough water, take good care of our body. It can be very, very hard, for me especially, to remember these things. And that's not a good place to be in. You don't want to be not taking care of yourself. So, here are some tips for people out there living with DID on how you can make sure that you're completing your activities of daily living and that they're not getting done multiple times. Make a checklist. I check off how much water I drink every day to make sure that I'm drinking enough, and so that anybody else who might be out can see exactly how much water our body has had and do we need more. I make sure to check off taking my medication, brushing my teeth, taking a shower, because while it's gross to admit, there have been times in the past when I realized that I hadn't taken a shower in 3 or 4 days. Sometimes more than that. It's not on purpose, I just didn't realize how long it had been, and nobody else did either. So nowadays, I make routines around these things, and that tends to help remember also. So there's my second tip. Make a routine and stick to that routine. Do it the same way every time that you do it so that you make sure you remember. It becomes automatic. And then my third tip is, if necessary, get some help. Enlist a trusted person to help remind you to do these things, whether that's in your system or outside of your system. Get somebody to help you remember, because it can be really, really hard. Now, when it comes to making those checklists I talked about earlier, there's several different ways you can do this. You can make a physical list with a paper and pen. You can write it down on your phone if your phone has that kind of capacity. You can set reminders. You can make calendar appointments. You can set alarms. There's lots of different options for making sure that you get these things done. Me personally, I like reminders on my phone and physical checklists that I can erase and then do again for the next day. We have a whiteboard in our house, for instance, and I will use that a lot of the time to keep track of how much water I've had. So that anybody else who's out knows, oh, we've had 3 glasses of water today. We need to have a couple more. That way we make sure that our body stays healthy, well-nourished, and well-hydrated, because it's really important for our health that we don't get behind on these things. Now, showering, I'm gonna be honest, is the hardest one for me. I will very easily forget what day it is, so I will very easily forget to take one. So I have a reminder set on my phone to go off at a specific time several times a week to let me know, hey, go take a shower. So then I get up and I go take a shower. And it also helps that I have my husband, who takes a shower on the same general schedule that I do, who could remind me, hey, we need to go take a shower, and I'll go take one with him. Now, there are other things that I've personally struggled with in the past, and sometimes continue to struggle with, and one of those big ones is eating. Getting enough to eat and remembering to eat. The best way I find to do that is to have specific times of the day when you eat. And if you find that you've missed time and you're able to communicate with your system members and it's past the time when you would normally be eating, just ask, hey, did anybody eat anything? If they say no, then go eat something. If they say yes, then unless you're hungry, don't worry about it. And in our case, we set a very specific breakfast time, lunchtime, and dinner time, which makes it a lot easier to remember. And I can always ask the others, hey, has anybody eaten anything? And they can let me know. Another factor, of course, is the fact that each of us in the system has very, very different energy levels and very different needs. So one person might need to eat a lot more than another. Me personally, I need to eat fairly often because I suffer from low blood sugar, called hypoglycemia, if I don't eat often enough. The other members of the system don't have this problem. They can go extremely long periods and be fine. So that's why they have to remember, if they're out, that when I come back, I'm probably going to be hungry. So they will let me know if they haven't had anything to eat so that I'm aware that I need to go take care of that. Now, this does not cover all of the potential activities of daily living. There are others, but some of them are a little bit more personal in nature, and I didn't really feel like we needed to cover those. But if anybody has any questions or concerns and you'd like to have anything specific discussed in a future video, please comment down below and let us know. So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Have a good day, everybody.